Not take long for records to go down in the indoor season. We've only ran a few meets and already countless records have gone down for the Madonna track program. What could be a historical year for both the men and the women's side. They're hungry, they're ready, and they got a lot more to accomplish on the track. I'm Sean Massa. This is the Madonna track season preview. We'll kick it aside to the man at the helm in Stacy Latney. We start out the track interview with the man at the helm, Stacy Latney. Coach, let's talk about your success here early on as a coach for Madonna track. When you look at the numbers, you can't deny them. 5 national champions, 4 national finishes, 2 national championships in cross country and in track, 161 national qualifiers, 96 All-Americans, 61 school records and counting with the indoor season already started, and 50 conference championships. Walk me through your success early on.
I think it definitely started with Coach Doherty when I first got here. We had a really solid women's cross country team built, and we had a really solid number 1 runner in Tony Floyd, and Cortez Cunningham was also on the team at the time. So we had some younger people and some older people on the team to really help, build a foundation and build a base. And then so with myself and Coach Anderson, we had long hours in the office. It was days I got here at 6 o'clock in the morning, then leave till 9, 10 p.m. at night, just trying to build the roster, trying to figure out how to win nationals, what events are valued a little bit more, what type of athletes that we need to bring in to be able to have success at the on our level. So I think just doing that and just recruiting high-quality athletes and athletes who wanted to be here, athletes who wanted to be at Madonna for 3-4 years, who wanted to grow the program, who wanted to compete for championships, who wanted to run post-collegiately as well. That really helped with a lot of our success.
And then you talk about competing for championships and all it takes to do so. One thing that not a lot of people really factor in, the culture of a team that you built. The culture of your team here is one of the best on campus. Kind of walk me through not only the culture you and your coaching staff have tried to build, but the relationship you have with your runners that kind of helps you as a coach.
Yeah, I think the first thing I always try to do is find ways to bond people together from different cultures, race, ethnicities, things like that. We have athletes from all over the world now. But one thing that bonds us together is Madonna University. So I'm always on the kids about make sure you're wearing Madonna gear, make sure you're speaking positively about the university, just so we can find just some sort of commonality. And I think once you find that commonality among people, then people will start to just bond together throughout that. And I always try to be available for my students, for my athletes, as much as frequently as possible to make sure that they know that they are cared about, they are supported on and off the track.
And then let's go to on the track now, starting the 2024/2025 season. Start the indoor side. We'll start the men. What are your expectations with this group, knowing the talent that you guys have on the roster?
Yeah, I definitely think on the men's side, we're definitely capable of trophying at nationals again, which would be great. We finished within the top 5, three of the past 5 seasons. So just trying to keep that going for as long as possible.
And then we move on to the women's side. There's no lack of talent on that end either. Kind of walk me through your expectations with that group.
Yeah, the women's team, I'm really, really excited for it. It took us a while to figure out how to place really high on the women's side, to figure out what events is more valuable to get the type of women athletes that we need on our team to be able to be successful, to be able to hold each other accountable. And now I think the women's team, they're set up now to place really, really high at nationals as well.
Thank you so much, Coach. That's Coach Latney talking about the indoor season and previewing to the outdoor season. We'll kick it aside from the coaching staff. Go to the on the track. We'll start with the men's side. Joined now by sprinter Nathaniel Dtea. Talk to me about what drew you here to Madonna. What really got you to Livonia, Michigan?
Yeah, so what initially brought me here was me speaking with Coach, actually. Like right from the start, I had a good feeling about him and his coaching abilities. And on top of that, I was looking at the performance of this team like in previous years, and it was an obvious choice for me to go to Madonna.
And then let's talk about your first race here indoor. You run the number 3rd all-time 200-meter in the NAIA. Kind of walk me through that race from your perspective.
Yeah, to be honest, I was very nervous at first. During my whole warm-up, I was shaking. But again, I have a fantastic coach, fantastic teammates, so it was really inevitable to drop a fantastic time.
Thank you so much. We'll kick it aside, go to the sprinting side of things with Arman Howard. Sean Massa now joined by junior sprinter Arman Howard. Let's talk about last year. Your first here as a transfer to Madonna, you set a school record in the 400 hurdles in the outdoor season, and you have a school record in indoor as well. Kind of walk me through what that was like, the impact you made right away.
We'll start off with the 600. That's what I run indoor. That's my main event for indoor. That was kind of just let's knock this time down to qualify for nationals, because this was the race that would get me ready and prepared to run the 400 hurdles outdoor. So started off with a 124, and that was at a meet in Indiana. And after that, the qualifying time was 120 point something. So it was just, let's keep trying to knock that time down, and try and get as close as possible. I ran with 122 at Grand Valley a few weeks later, and then coming into indoor conferences, which was my last opportunity to qualify, I ran 121. It was on a 200 flat, so it converted to a 120, and that got me into nationals, and that was the qualifying time as well as the school record for that. And then to go to outdoor, which the 400 hurdles is my main race. I opened up at Texas Relays for outdoor, and I ran a 53:04, 53:05, and that was just to set the boundary for myself, because I knew I would have to drop the time lower and lower to compete very well at outdoor nationals. So yeah, and then as well, that was the school record right there. But I told myself, let's keep getting down. So I trained the entire outdoor, getting myself prepared, ran a bunch of other races, for example, the 4, the 200, maybe some relays. And when it came to outdoor conferences, that is when I ran a 51:98, which that is a new record as well. And that overall just prepared me for going into outdoor nationals and competing. Unfortunately, I did get injured going into outdoor, but knowing that I would have been able to compete with those guys was pretty well, or set my mind straight for this year. So I know for a fact I want to revisit both indoor and outdoor nationals and become All-American in those events as well.
And you kind of touched on it right there. Those are your goals for the year as an individual after a pretty darn good first season as a Crusader. What kind of goals have you guys set, as a team going for this indoor season?
I know for our first meet, we had a few records broken there. We got some pretty good athletes out here. Everybody has the mentality, the dedication, and they all want to get better as well as compete at nationals as well. We got a lot of people talking, saying that they want to qualify, saying that they want to, be the best athlete that they possibly can.
Thank you so much. We'll kick it over to the women's side. Sophomore Lauren Hamilton on the other end. We'll start off the women's side of the thing on the track with sophomore Lauren Hamilton. Lauren, let's first talk about this first year. School record in the 600, All-American in the 600. Kind of walk me through that process of your first year, your freshman year here at Madonna.
Right. So I started cross country my fall semester and then went straight into track. And it was a little difficult because I had so much endurance on me and not a lot of speed. And the 600 requires a lot of speed, I found out really quickly. And, at first I was running it like an 800, which was really rough because you got to get out in a 600. And I was running like 141 my first time, which was really slow. It was actually really slow. And, I was just building up from there, taking my time, being patient with it, because this is all just experimental for me because I had never ran a 600 before. And when I qualified for nationals, I didn't really realize how high up on the charts I was, because I didn't realize I was going in as 5th. So when I got there and everyone's like, you're a potential All-American, I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm like 18th on the list. And I look and I'm 5th. And I'm like, oh, wait, that builds up a lot more pressure than I thought. So, it kind of helped because I went there thinking, this is all just go out there and have fun and do your best. You made it to nationals. Good for you. Your freshman year, great feeling. But this year I feel like more pressure to come back and you got it, it's all you.
Let's talk about this year now. Everyone likes to think track, individual sport. You go out there and you run your time, that's that. But it's more of that. It's more of a team. The culture you guys have built is fantastic. What is kind of the mentality you guys as a group this year going into indoor season?
So I am in a group of 6 right now for mid-distance, 6 girls. And we're an amazing group of people. I love them all. They all matched my energy. It's so much fun. Racing and, being with them is great too because I have someone to push me. Like last year, I felt like it was really only me. And that was really difficult to just run by myself. And I'm so glad to have them all this year because they push me to be the better runner that I am.
Thank you so much, Lauren. We got one more on the other side to wrap up the preseason interview for Madonna Track. Sean Massa, now joined by Nye Hobbs. Now, let's talk about your first year here. All the school records you set in the 60 and the 200. What was that like, kind of coming to Madonna and that impact you made right away with the team?
Transferring to Madonna was really fun. It was a big step for me. I was coming into even though I went to a D2 school, I was coming into a harder conference, and it was like a humbling year for me. I came, I broke some records, and I had some fun, and yeah.
And then let's talk about going into this year. You already have those records. Now you're chasing your own number, to say the least. How does that kind of feel mentally? You're chasing a number that you already set.
It shows me how far I can go. So I know I want to go my PR is 7.3. I want to go 7.2. And for the 200, I want to place top 3 at nationals. I want to win a 60 at nationals. I already qualified in the 60 and the 200. So right now I'm just practicing and keeping my body, trained so I can run at nationals.
And then you got nationals and indoor on the clock, already qualified. We go back to nationals last year in the outdoor side. You finished second in the 100. What kind of mentality did that take into the offseason of, I want to make sure that number's not 2 again?
I just got to come back out here, mentally prepare myself. I know what to expect now, so when I go out there, number 1 is the only spot I can get. I can only go up from there. So that's the mentality I'm going in for outdoor in 100.
Thank you so much. Madonna Track is back in action in Ann Arbor on Saturday.